In a devastating move that has sent shockwaves through Buckingham Palace and beyond, Princess Catherine has just made what royal insiders are calling the most significant parenting decision in modern royal history. According to multiple sources close to the palace, the Princess of Wales has firmly decided that her daughter, Princess Charlotte, will break a century-old tradition that every royal woman before her has followed without question. This isn't just about etiquette or ceremony. This is about Catherine fundamentally reimagining what it means to raise a royal daughter in the 21st century, and the implications are absolutely explosive. Palace officials are allegedly scrambling behind closed doors, with some senior royals reportedly furious about this unprecedented break from protocol. But Catherine isn't backing down. What could possibly be so controversial that it's causing this level of upheaval? And why is Catherine willing to risk royal fury to protect her daughter from this particular tradition? Welcome back to Royals Truth Network, where we always bring you the truth behind the palace walls. I'm absolutely stunned by what we're uncovering today, and trust me, you're going to want to hear every single detail of this story. If you're passionate about the royal family and you want to stay ahead of the breaking news that mainstream media won't tell you, make sure to hit that subscribe button right now. We've got sources inside the palace, connections to royal staff members, and access to information that reveals what's really happening behind those gilded doors. This investigation goes deep into Catherine's decision-making process, the royal tradition she's breaking, and why this matters so much more than you might think. We'll explore the fierce backlash she's facing, the unexpected support she's receiving, and what this means for the future of the monarchy itself. By the end of this video, you'll understand why this single decision could change the trajectory of Princess Charlotte's entire life. So let's dive in, because what I'm about to reveal will shock you to your core. The tradition in question is one that has existed since Queen Victoria's reign, spanning over 150 years of royal history. According to the Telegraph and confirmed by multiple royal historians, every single royal daughter born into the direct line of succession has been required to attend finishing school in Switzerland by the age of 16. We're talking about exclusive institutions like Institut Villa Perefu in Montreux or Institut Oftem Rosenberg in St. Gallen, where young aristocratic women are taught everything from formal dining etiquette and ballroom dancing to foreign languages and deportment. Queen Elizabeth herself attended similar training, though hers was conducted privately at Windsor Castle during wartime. Princess Margaret completed her finishing education, and underwent the training. Even Sarah Ferguson and Sophie Rhys-Jones participated in versions of this tradition before their marriages into the royal family. The curriculum is intense, designed to transform young women into perfect royal representatives who can navigate state dinners, foreign dignitaries, and high society events with flawless grace. But here's what makes this so incredibly significant. Sources close to Catherine told The Times just days ago that the Princess of Wales has explicitly stated she will not be sending Princess Charlotte to any finishing school, traditional or modern. Instead, according to palace insiders speaking to Page 6, Catherine wants her daughter to have what she calls a normal educational experience, focused on academic achievement and personal development, not antiquated social performances. This is revolutionary language coming from someone who will one day be queen consort, and it represents a fundamental shift in how the royal family approaches raising female heirs. Catherine allegedly told close friends that she wants Charlotte to choose her own path, whether that's university, a career, or traditional royal duties. But that choice must be informed by real-world education, not centuries-old etiquette training. The decision didn't come lightly, and royal experts suggest Catherine has been contemplating this for over 2 years. According to sources speaking to The Sun, the turning point came during a private conversation between Catherine and Princess Charlotte last summer at Balmoral Castle. The young princess, now 9 years old, apparently expressed anxiety about her future, having overheard conversations about the expectations placed upon her as a female royal. She reportedly asked her mother whether she would have to learn to curtsy properly for years, like great-grandmother did. That question, insiders claim, broke Catherine's heart and crystallized her resolve that her daughter would have different options. different opportunities, and different freedoms than royal women of previous generations. But here's where things get complicated, because Catherine isn't making this decision in isolation. According to royal commentators speaking to Daily Mail, Prince William is completely supportive of his wife's position. He allegedly shares her belief that their children should have as normal an upbringing as possible. Given the constraints of their royal positions, William reportedly told senior palace officials that the world has changed, and the monarchy must change with it or risk becoming irrelevant to future generations. This isn't just about Charlotte. This is William and Catherine together drawing a line in the sand about how they will raise all three of their children, fundamentally different from how William himself was raised. Remember, William endured incredibly rigid royal training, formal protocols, and constant public scrutiny from childhood. He's determined his children will have more freedom, more privacy, and more agency over their own lives. However, not everyone in the royal family agrees with this modern approach. The Telegraph reports that several senior royals, particularly those from Queen Elizabeth's generation and its immediate aftermath, view Catherine's decision as disrespectful to royal tradition and potentially damaging to the institution's credibility. One unnamed palace source allegedly told reporters, "Finishing school isn't about curtsying. It's about preparing young women for the unique pressures and responsibilities of royal life." By rejecting this tradition, Catherine may be setting Charlotte up for difficulties she can't yet imagine. There's genuine concern among traditionalists that Princess Charlotte, without this specific training, may struggle when she's inevitably thrust into high-profile royal duties as she ages. They argue that the training provides essential skills for managing public appearances, international diplomacy, and the relentless scrutiny that comes with royal status. Queen Camilla, according to sources speaking to The Times, finds herself in an awkward position. As someone who didn't grow up royal and had to learn palace protocol as an adult, she reportedly sympathizes with Catherine's desire to spare Charlotte unnecessary pressure. However, Camilla also allegedly believes that some level of formal training is essential for young royals. Palace insiders claim Camilla has privately suggested a compromise: modern etiquette training conducted at home rather than traditional Swiss finishing school. She's reportedly offered to help coordinate this training herself, drawing on her decades of experience navigating royal life. But Catherine, according to these same sources, politely declined the offer, stating she wants Charlotte to develop naturally without formal royal programming. During her teenage years, Princess Anne, interestingly, is rumored to be one of Catherine's strongest supporters in this matter, according to royal experts speaking to Page 6, and has privately told family members that she found her own finishing school experience stuffy and largely useless for real royal work, and is famous for her no-nonsense approach to royal duties, her tireless work ethic, and her rejection of unnecessary ceremony. Sources claim she told Catherine, "Charlotte will learn more about true service by watching you work than she ever would in some Swiss institution teaching her which fork to use." This endorsement from arguably the hardest-working royal carries significant weight, and it's given Catherine additional confidence in her decision. The public reaction has been fascinating and deeply divided. In the United Kingdom, according to recent polling data reported by The Guardian, opinions split roughly 60-40 in favor of Catherine's decision. Younger Britons overwhelmingly support the move, viewing it as progressive and sensible modernization. Older generations are more skeptical, with many expressing concern that abandoning traditions weakens the monarchy's special status and mystique. Social media has exploded with debate, with hashtags like #ModernRoyals and #RespectTradition both trending. Royal commentators note that this division mirrors larger cultural debates about gender roles, education, and the relevance of aristocratic institutions in contemporary society. What do you think? Should Charlotte follow tradition or forge her own path? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because I'm genuinely curious where you stand on this. In America, where Harry and Meghan have successfully positioned themselves as the progressive alternative to the traditional monarchy, the reaction has been overwhelmingly positive. The New York Times published an editorial praising Catherine for finally bringing the royal family into the modern era regarding women's education and autonomy. American audiences who've never particularly understood or valued aristocratic finishing schools see Catherine's decision as obviously correct. This transatlantic The educational path Catherine has chosen for Charlotte is reportedly rigorous and impressive. According to sources speaking to Daily Mail, Charlotte currently attends Lambrook School in Berkshire alongside her brothers, where she's excelling in academics, sports, and arts. Catherine allegedly plans to send her to a top-tier secondary school, possibly Marlborough College, where Catherine herself studied, followed by university. The focus will be on STEM subjects, languages, history, and literature rather than etiquette and social graces. Palace insiders claim Catherine wants Charlotte to have the educational credentials to pursue any career she might choose, even if she ultimately dedicates herself to royal duties. This approach mirrors how European monarchies like those in Sweden, Norway, and the Netherlands have successfully modernized while maintaining public support. Financial implications also play into this decision, though they're rarely discussed publicly. Traditional Swiss finishing schools cost upwards of £100,000 per year, and the programs typically last 1 to 2 years. By foregoing this expense, William and Catherine are making a statement about fiscal responsibility and priorities. Royal finances are increasingly scrutinized, and the public wants to see their money spent on meaningful activities, rather than what many perceive as frivolous aristocratic indulgences. This pragmatic consideration likely reinforced Catherine's personal convictions about what's best for her daughter. The decision also reflects Catherine's own journey and experiences. She didn't grow up royal. She attended ordinary schools, though excellent ones, and came from an upper-middle-class background without aristocratic titles. Many royal commentators credit Catherine's grounded, relatable public persona to this normal upbringing. By giving Charlotte a similar educational experience, Catherine is essentially saying, "What worked for me will work for my daughter." This is powerful testimony to the value of education focused on substance rather than style, achievement rather than appearance. Here's what fascinates me most about this entire situation. Catherine has managed something incredibly difficult. She's breaking with tradition, while maintaining massive public support and respect. How has she done this? By being strategic, thoughtful, and picking her battles carefully. She hasn't rejected all royal protocol. She performs her duties flawlessly, supports the crown, and maintains appropriate dignity and decorum. But on issues that directly affect her children's well-being and future, she draws firm boundaries. This selective modernization is brilliant because it satisfies both traditionalists, who want stability, and progressives who want relevance. She's not burning down the institution. She's carefully renovating it for the future. According to palace sources speaking to The Sun, King Charles has privately endorsed Catherine's decision regarding Charlotte's education. Despite being someone who values tradition deeply, Charles reportedly told family members that grandchildren should be raised according to their parents' best judgment, not institutional mandates from a bygone era. This endorsement from the monarch himself provides crucial cover for Catherine and William, signaling to other royals that this decision has the highest approval. It also reveals Charles's own evolution as both king and grandfather, increasingly willing to prioritize family well-being over rigid protocol. The comparison to Meghan Markle's approach is inevitable, and it's revealing. Meghan also challenged royal traditions, but her approach was more confrontational and public. She gave explosive interviews, made allegations of racism and neglect, and ultimately left the institution entirely. Catherine, by contrast, is working within the system to change it gradually from the inside. She's not giving tell-all interviews or burning bridges. She's simply making different choices for her family and letting those choices speak for themselves. Royal experts suggest this approach is far more effective for achieving lasting institutional change, because it doesn't create defensive resistance or public backlash. Are you Team Catherine's quiet evolution or Team Meghan's public revolution? Let me know your thoughts. And now, the moment you've been waiting for, because there's something else happening behind the scenes that makes this decision even more significant. According to exclusive information shared with The Telegraph, Catherine has been working with education policy experts and child psychologists for over 18 months to develop a comprehensive framework for raising royal children in the modern era. This isn't just about Charlotte and finishing school. This is apparently a complete reimagining of royal childhood that will affect George, Charlotte, and Louis throughout their upbringing. The framework reportedly includes provisions for mental health support, media literacy training, privacy protections, and career counseling. Catherine is allegedly creating a blueprint that future royal parents can use, essentially modernizing the entire approach to raising heirs to the throne. If true, this positions Catherine not just as a protective mother but as a visionary reformer who's actively shaping the monarchy's future survival strategy. Palace insiders claim this framework has been presented to King Charles and received his blessing, though it remains confidential and won't be publicly released. The implications are staggering. This could mean fundamental changes to how royal children are educated, protected, and prepared for public life. It could mean more privacy, more normal experiences, and more personal freedom than any previous generation of royals has enjoyed. And it all started with Catherine looking at her daughter and deciding that a Swiss finishing school wasn't the answer. So what does all of this mean for the monarchy moving forward? We're witnessing a crucial transition period where the institution must adapt or risk becoming irrelevant to younger generations who value authenticity, equality, and personal fulfillment over tradition and hierarchy. Catherine's decision about Charlotte is a test case for this modernization. If Charlotte grows up confident, capable, and comfortable in her royal role without finishing school, it validates Catherine's approach and opens the door for further reforms. If she struggles, traditionalists will point to this decision as proof that abandoning time-tested methods was a mistake. The stakes are genuinely high, not just for one young girl but for the entire institution she represents. The human cost of royal life is something we often overlook in our fascination with glamour and ceremony. Princess Charlotte is 9 years old. She didn't choose this life, these expectations, or the scrutiny. She was born into it through no decision of her own. Catherine, having experienced the brutal intensity of public attention herself, understands this better than anyone. Her decision to spare Charlotte from finishing school isn't about rejecting tradition for its own sake. It's about a mother trying to give her daughter the tools, confidence, and freedom to navigate an impossibly difficult path with as much normalcy and support as possible. That's not radical. That's love. If you've made it this far, you're clearly as invested in this story as I am, and I need you to do something for me. Hit that subscribe button right now, because we're going to continue following this story. As it develops, Catherine is redefining what it means to be a royal mother, and Princess Charlotte's journey will be fascinating to watch. Next week, we're investigating the growing tensions between William and Harry regarding their children's relationships with each other. Are George, Charlotte, and Louis being kept apart from Archie and Lilibet? Who's making that decision and why? You won't want to miss it. Thank you so much for watching, for engaging, and for being part of this community that values truth over gossip and substance over scandal. This is Royals Truth Network, where we always uncover the real story. Until next time, stay curious.